Hamilton police are speaking to reporters this morning following last night's standoff with the double homicide suspect. Let's listen.
Detective, can you speak to what happened here last night?
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here today. I'm here to update on the shooting incident here in Hamilton that occurred last night at the address behind me at 322 Jones Road here in Stoney Creek, which is the east end of the city of Hamilton. Last night, approximately 5:40 p.m., we received a 911 call for shots fired in this area. Witnesses reported observing a shooting taking place. Police units and first responders quickly attended the scene, where they were able to quickly ascertain that unfortunately 2 victims had been the victim of gunshot wounds and were deceased on scene. With that information, we also learned that there was a 57-year-old male who had barricaded himself in his residence, which is 322 Jones Road. And from there, our emergency response team contained the house and the perimeter to ensure public safety at that time. We spent considerable time last night on the phone in attempts to negotiate a peaceful resolution with the male suspect. There was later an interaction between this male suspect and the police, resulting in the SIU being contacted, who are leading the investigation here today. And as such, I'm not able to comment on what had happened to lead up to the SIU's involvement, but I can tell you that and after speaking with the SIU, they've allowed me to say that this 57-year-old male is deceased. Further to this, the investigation is ongoing. We've been here working through the night in conjunction with the SIU. My team is conducting a homicide investigation, a double homicide investigation, where this 57-year-old suspect shot and killed 2 victims, 27 and 28 years old. 27-year-old female and 28-year-old male, both were residing here at this address. It's our information at this point in time in the investigation that this was a landlord-tenant dispute, and there was a disagreement surrounding issues within the house, which led to their murders. The 27-year-old female, she is an educational assistant for a Catholic school board in Brant County. And the 28-year-old male is an electrician, both hardworking people. Adding to the tragedy of this event, none of the people involved in this incident were known to police, making this perhaps a little bit more shocking for all of us. And the 28-year-old male, he was an electrician here in the city of Hamilton as well. So that is the update at this point. We're continuing to work through the scene. We'll be here certainly for the majority of today, and if not into tomorrow, depending on how things work. This is a very large scene at this point. It's a considerable outdoor scene as well as an indoor scene, and again, like I said, the SIU is leading the investigation at this point, so I'm limited in terms of what I can say.
Steph, I know you are limited in terms of what you can say. Are you able to tell us where those 2 people were located on that property? Were they inside or were they outside?
I can. They were observed by witnesses fleeing the house, and they were killed outside of the residence.
Can you tell us more about the landlord-tenant dispute? Did it involve unpaid rent, or was it more to do with the house?
So the early indication on that is it sounds like there was some type of dispute regarding the state of the home. The specifics I don't think I'll get into at this point in time, but it wasn't over a missed rental payment or such.
How many weapons were found in the home?
I don't have an answer to that. I think that's probably better answered by the SIU. I can tell you that I do know that there were registered firearms to this residence.
In general terms, not specifically this occurrence, can you speak to what police go through, try to resolve an incident peacefully? It happened at 6 o'clock, and it was some hours later that this came to an end. Can you just go through those steps?
Yeah, I mean, last night, after recognizing the suspect was inside the residence, The police quickly were able to create a containment on the residence. That involved our emergency response team, tactical officers, as well as negotiators. And attempts are made to contact the suspect, which we had tweeted out as this was an unfolding event last night, that we were in contact with the suspect, and efforts were being made to peacefully resolve the situation.
How many shots were fired?
That would be an evidentiary question and one that I can't answer at this time.
Can you say what kind of gun this man used?
I can't at this point in time, but there were multiple firearms registered to this house, which include handguns as well as long guns, rifles.
Can you say anything about the nature of negotiations? How it went back and forth?
No, I think that question's evidentiary nature. It's a good question, but I can tell you that our negotiators certainly did the best they could to try to negotiate a peaceful resolution here.
Did the first responders initially arrive on scene and then have to retreat after shots were fired? Can you walk us through?
So the first responders, all indication right now is that they arrived. They were able to check on the victims. They were pronounced deceased immediately. There was no signs of life at that point in time. And knowing that the suspect was inside that residence with firearms, they then had to contain that area, and it was unsafe for them to work any further at that point. Because you can see there was certainly a large line of sight from that residence. It's a corner property, and so the officers had to be very careful with where it was that they were going to stand.
If these two victims were fleeing the house, was he chasing them with a gun or anything like that?
Reports are at this point in time, we believe that the victims were fleeing the residence. Yes, they were running away.
Can you tell us more about the suspect, where he was from? Are police able to release his identity?
No. Again, information regarding the suspects better directed to the SIU. At this point in time, I won't be releasing names of the victims. The families have obviously, we've notified the families, we've been in contact with them. They are extremely upset, as you can well imagine. These are not people that this should happen to. They're not involved in any level of criminality or lifestyle that may lead to an incident like this. They're truly innocent victims, hardworking people, young people. They were engaged to be married, and this is a very tragic incident.
They're both from Hamilton originally?
Yes.
Do you know how long they had been living in the home?
I don't know that just yet. That'll form part of our investigation to determine, to understand more about what happened here, and we're trying to understand that, so that'll take some time to piece that together. And again, largely, there's going to be a large forensic investigation, forensic component to this. We are not seeking anybody else in relation to this incident. The suspect in this incident is deceased.
You mentioned that there were a number of guns in the home. Was there like an ample amount of ammunition as well? Or?
Again, good question, but that's evidentiary and one that would have to be directed to the SIU.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
And we've been listening to an update from Hamilton Police where the word shocking was used to describe what transpired last night. An engaged couple, 27-year-old woman, education assistant, 28-year-old man, electrician, shot and killed. This happened around 5:40 p.m. after a call for shots fired happened. Then 57-year-old male barricaded himself. This was in the Stoney Creek area of Hamilton. Happened at 322 Jones Road. After an interaction, that 57-year-old male suspect is deceased.